Hi guys, this is a scientific calculator I developed in Visual C#, and I just feel I should share it with you. Okay, let's click on maybe any of the arithmetic operator. That's it, that's how it works, and we can even use the plus minus sign. You can clear that, multiply there. It works like any other conventional calculator out there. And we can clear, we can enter decimal place, and there. Now let's check out the scientific part of it. There we can get the sign of that. Okay, and then maybe the logarithm, square root of that. Clear. Let's enter 69. Check out the binary. Clear that. Let's enter maybe 96, hexadecimal notation of that, binary of that. Clear. 98 octets, and so on. The other thing that we can do with this calculator is we can find the temperature. Let's enter whatever value in this and select any of the converter you want to use. From Celsius to Fahrenheit, just click on that there, and the same thing there. One other good thing about this calculator is we have multiplication timetable for those of you who do not want to bother your brain. There we go, we have a multiplication timetable in there. Alright, so the next thing I'll do now is take you guys straight into Visual C# development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now. Hi and welcome to C# Complete Scientific Calculator. So I'm going to start by clicking on New Project, and then let's give it a name. We'll call that C# underscore scientific underscore calculator. There. Make sure you select C# and Windows Forms application. Click on OK. Okay, the form is ready, so the next thing is to define the size of the form. Let's take it down and get the size. Alphabetic order. Size, that will be, let's go for 1182 by 434. Well, let's make that 450. There, that's the size of my form. And on the form, let me just enter calculator right there. There. The next thing is I'm going to go up here to the tools there and select menu strip. Let's look for menu strip right there. Now I have my menu strip in place. In there, just enter file, then that's going to be followed by standard, and maybe here just enter scientific, and I intend to create temperature conversion as well, so let's just call that temperature. Okay, now let's come into unit conversion as well, and maybe let's go for multiplication timetable. Yes, that is right, the first calculator with a multiplication timetable. Alright, I think I'll just leave that for now. Okay, let me enter another menu there. I'm just going to call that edit. Then maybe one here, view. We may have use for that. Alright, the next thing is, let's add a text box. Maybe grab one button there since we're there. Then text box. Okay, here I have a text box and a button, so that is fine, and the button stays here. Let's go for the text box. Maybe just that will be the size of my text box. Now what about my buttons? And for the button, maybe I should go for 67 or 67, 63. There, that is the size of my button. So I'm just going to copy. Right, let's speed it up. So I'm just going to speed up the development of the interface. Okay, this is how my interface looks right now, but nothing is happening. Even when I run it, nothing happens for now. Okay, as you can see, nothing is happening. Okay, and I've also given them all a name. Here I have the scientific part, and here this I class this as just the standard calculator. And I also have a label there somewhere. Let me show it to you guys if I can see it. Alright, that is my label right there. Can you see that? That tiny little. Well, let's select it again so that you guys will see it. It's called LBL show. There we go. Yeah, that is it right there. So I have a label there. Okay, now the first thing I intend to do, let's see the size here. Okay, that will be the size of the standard calculator. So let's go for the size. That is it right there. Alright, so the size will be 302. So if we come in here, we can just double click on standard and enter the following lines of code. Okay, we just need to enter this dot width equals 302. I'll just make that 300. And what about the size of the text box? Let me go for txtDisplay.Width equals, let me see the width of the text box. Come in here, and that's 266. Back into my code, that'll be 266 there. Okay, now let's look at this scientific. If I come in here, double click on scientific, just copy all of this, paste it right in there, and this I'm going to make that 584, and this, let's come in here first and just find out, drag this, that'll be about 584, let's see. Okay, that's 581. Alright, make it 581 then, and this will be what I want it about that. 551. Okay, back into our code, that'll be 551, and that'll be, the form is 81. Change this to 81. Okay, at form load, this is what I want my form to be. So if I double click on this form load there, if I run this program now, that is the size. So come here, scientific, right there, and standard. That is brilliant. Okay, now what about this? Okay, let's find a size for that first. Let's say it's about this. Okay, that's a temperature converter, and in there let me insert group box. I will use this group box to determine which object is in there. Right, so that's group box 1. So that is for group box 1. I'm going to need more than one group box, and let's get the location. The location is 580 by 26, so that should be the same for the other one. Okay, now let's design the interface for the temperature converter. Let's come in here first, enter temperature. Right, that is the temperature, and increase the size. Let's increase the size of that. Let's just go for something bold, and maybe 20 might be too much. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, okay, for the temperature converter, let's insert as follows. I'm going to need a radio button. I need 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. We also need a list box. We need 3 of those as well, and 2 buttons, 1 and 2. So let's just speed up the design of this interface. Okay, this is how my interface look right now. I had to speed it up because of time, so I have a text box here, label here. I think I'm going to need one more label here. Let's just copy that and delete the content in here. Okay, that is the converted. Yeah. Alright, I think it looks too plain. I think what I'm going to do is let's come in here, let's get another group box. Where is that? Yep, I have a group box here. Just draw it here and get rid of the content in there. Yeah, for now, and maybe change the back color a little bit. Yeah, and let's add some text into it. Let's come down here, enter as follows. That's too big, so let's change that. Maybe 12. Okay, what about the font? Let's see if white will go well with it. Let's see. Alright, okay, make it a little bit darker. I don't want to waste your time with this. Alright, now I think I may have to settle for that. Let me grab all of this, cut and paste them right in here. Just paste it right in there. Maybe increase the size of this a little bit more. Okay, there we go, guys. I think that's a bit alright. I'll take this off. Let me delete this. Okay, and I don't like it. Let me come back in here and just change everything. That'll be control. with the background control there, and the font color, change that back to black. Let's go for black. That's it. Alright, that is it. So okay, we need to now define the size of this converter. So let's come in here, and the font size is 1023. Just copy that, come right here, double click on temperature, 1023. I'm gonna need this. Yeah, copy that, paste that in there, 1023, paste that there, and that is that. So the same size is going to be used for, I'm going to use that for the unit converter as well. I'll be using that for multiplication timetable as well. So if I run the system now, and there guys, that's how it looks like. If I click on multiplication timetable, so that should be here as well. Standard unit converter, that should be here as well, and the temperature converter there. So for the unit converter and the temperature converter, or for the calculator, let's take care of the calculator now, then we can take care of the rest. Okay, and that. Now let's come in here. I'm going to group all of these buttons, so let's use the same event instead of working on individual buttons. Now let's come to the property right there. You see the event there. Let's give it a name using click event. Let's just say button underscore click. Right, now I have same event for all of them, and we then enter the following lines of codes. But before I can continue, let me declare the following global variables. Right underneath here, I'll enter as follows. Those are my global variables, and let's scroll down to that variable button here. Okay, and those are the lines of codes for the buttons. So what's going on here is, if the text box equals 0 or enter value, okay, the enter value in this case right now is false, and then the text box is cleared. Once the text box is cleared, enter value becomes false, and here that is where I create my new object there. While here this is for the decimal place. Okay, so if the decimal place, if the text box contains this, then whatever is inside the text box is added onto the text box, else it will display the numbers. Now I enter 0 in there just to simulate the other calculator. I might as well just enter the 0 here. Come to the text box, the text area, and just enter 0 there and align it right there. So if I run it, let's run it and see. This is how it looks like now. Enter 9 and whatever decimal place. Okay, let's see, the decimal works, that's fine. Alright, so we need this. Let's take care of the clear. So all of these are taken care of. That's good, that makes life easy. So here, let me just clear. I'm going to just copy and paste that in there. That's to clear it. I also have LBL show. What is the name. Let's come in here, select. I think it's called LB Hold Shows. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, let's go back in the code. LBL. Okay. Dot text equals. Okay. And that, and just delete one of these. That's why there's error there. Okay, that's fine. That's the clear. I'm just gonna copy it for the second one. Oh, that's the first one. The second one here. Paste. That's it. Done. So here are the lines of code for all of the standard calculator button, and here just to clear. That's for the clear. Okay, with the backspace we enter if txtDisplay.Text dot length less than 0. Alright, let's enter quite a bracket there. Take this up so that you can see it. Then we enter display equals display dot remove, yeah, and display dot text, okay, dot text dot length, dot length minus 1, 1, and that is all there is to it. But the problem is, if we leave it this way, there's going to be an error. It will work, but there will be an error. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. If I enter whatever value in there, click, and you see that, okay, it's meant to default back to 0. So to take care of that, let's use another if statement. Let me just copy all of this. Let's copy that and just paste it right underneath here. If it equals to nothing, okay, that will be double, then default back to 0, and there, that should take care of it. So if I run it now, okay, enter whatever value, just backspace, there. Let's try it again. There. So that's fine. It's working as we want. Okay, now let's take care of the arithmetic operators. Close that. Come in here. Let's group all of these arithmetic operators. No, maybe just this alone. Okay, the arithmetic operators. Let's come in here and let's come to the click event, and in there I'm going to enter arithmetic. Let's say arithmetic underscore operator. Press enter, and let's declare an object. Let's create an object. I'll call it num equals button, and sender. There. Now we call our operations, actually it's called operations equals num dot text. Alright, then results equals double dot pause, and that will be txtDisplay.Text. Now the next thing is, let's clear it. Just gonna copy that, paste that in there, and clear. Okay, now for the LDL show operator.text, I would like you to, first of all, we need to convert it to string dot convert dot to string. And what are we converting? We're converting the result. Okay, plus space plus operation, and that is that. Done. So that takes care of the arithmetic operator. Okay, now let's take care of the equal sign. Double click on the equals, and we start by clearing the show ops.text equals clear. Then let's enter a switch statement there, and that will be for the operation. And let's enter a curly bracket. Start by case. That will be for the plus sign, and that will be column. So display.text equals result. Okay, that will be this. You can just copy that. Let's copy it, paste it right in here. Result plus display. Okay, now let's convert it. Dot convert to string there, and that will take care of the plus sign. Alright, we're missing one more. Yeah, that's fine now. Alright, so what we need to do is, I'm just going to copy this and just paste it for the rest. Then change it around. This will be minus multiplication division. Alright, so division, multiplication, and minus. And let's this one be exponential, and this one will be that. Then let's do one for modulus. That is wrong. That's in Visual Basic. Let's change that. I'm going to put mode in there and just change this to mode. Okay. Alright. Okay, for the exponential, we're going to have to use these lines of code. As you can see, I've just declared variable there, two variables, and assigned this value into this, into I. The other value is assigned here. It might not be all that correct, but you guys can always get that sorted. That's the only bit that I'm not too sure about the calculation. Okay, so if I run this program now, let's just run it, you see. Okay, so if we go for, first of all, let's just play around with this there. We can clear it, come to scientific, and supposing we say maybe 6 exponential 5 there. Okay, let's clear that. Let's go for 12 mode 5 there. That is correct. Alright, so we've taken care of all of these and these two underneath here, so let's take care of every other buttons here. Okay, let's double click on this, double click on that, and just enter as follows. Come in here and just copy that. I'll just enter 3.14, so that'll be 899,763,23. I think that would do. Alright, that's for the pi. Just enter that in there. So if I run it and come in here, scientific, click on that, that is the pi number. Alright, let's see. Scientific. Okay, that's fine. Now let's take care of the log. Double click on the logarithm, and first of all I'm going to declare a double variable there. Just call it maybe ilog equals double dot parse, and that'll be txtDisplay.Text right there. Now for ilog, let's go ahead and say ilog equals math dot log. I think it's going to be this, and that will be ilog. Right, now we need to then assign that to the display, because it has to be converted though. Now display equals, let's say system.Convert.ToString. Okay, what are we converting? We are actually converting the content inside ilog to string. Alright, okay, let's run it and see how that looks like. Come in here, scientific, and let's go for that is 5, and let's see for 5. Yes, that is correct. So, but let me add lbl show. I'd like it to display the content dot text equals. Let's go for the system.convert as well. Let's copy. I'm just going to copy all of this dot convert. Right, so that'll be log plus whatever is inside the text box itself. So let's say plus whatever I have in here. So I'm just going to copy all of this. Let's copy this and paste it right in there. Let's put that in brackets, get rid of this. Yeah, and here I will end up with plus there. Okay, so let's give that a try and see. So if I come to scientific and I enter maybe 6 log, so that give me log 6. Right, I actually need the data. Okay, let's correct that. Okay, I don't want the answer displayed, so let me cut all of this off, cut it, and maybe paste it right underneath here, and do that. Now try that again. There. Okay, let's run it now and see. 9 log, that is correct. You can see that there's 9 in there. Log 9 equals whatever. Alright, that is fine. Now let's take care of the square. Double click on that. So in the case of the square, I'm just going to copy all of these, paste that in there, and just change this to square. That's it. Maybe just let me customize that. SQ as well. and here is SQ. Right, so that's for the square. So let's give it a try and see. Come to scientific and just say 8 square. Yeah, that's correct. I know the answer to that anyway. Alright, that's correct. Now the next one, let's take care of this so that I just go row by row. Or no, let me take care of this and I'll come here later on. Double click on and that and just paste that in there again. So that's going to be for sine H. I'll copy that, paste, and just put a Q right in front of it. Yeah, I'm gonna repeat the same thing here and the same thing right here. Then right here just enter dot sine H. That is that. Now copy and repeat the same thing for sine and just delete this. There, that's very easy to take care of. That is that taken care of. Out here I need to change that to sine and change this to sine H. Is there any other one to change? Yeah, this one is supposed to be square. Right. Okay. Right. Okay, let's just run it and see what's going to happen. Come in here, scientific. That is working as I want. That's fine. That is fine as well. But let's select something. Okay, that's fine. Right, so clear. Let's get back to the development. So let's come in here. Take care of this as well. Let's go for cosine. Paste that in there. Change this to cos, and all of this become cos, and here as well. And come in here. Dot C there, and change this one to cos. Now copy this. Say cosine. Space that in there. Just get rid of the H. Get rid of that. Get rid of this as well. Now get rid of this. Right. So that's that done. Now tangent. Tangent H. So this one becomes dot TH, and this one just inherit all of this. Let's copy that and paste this in here. That's with a Q, has a Q as well, and a Q and a Q here as well. Q tangents. Okay, yeah, that's tangent. Make that maybe lowercase. There. I'm going to copy that and use that for just the other tangent. Double click on the tangent, paste, and just get rid of the H. There. So all of those ones are taken care of. Okay, let's go back here and take care of, let's go for binary first. Now with a binary I'm going to declare a variable there. Let's say variable A equals, let's say convert that to whatever is inside the txtDisplay.Text is converted to an integer, and there. Now display itself, paste that in there. Display equals system dot convert dot to, let's say, to string. That will be a comma 2, because it is base 2. That's fine. Okay, now let's take care of the hexadecimal. Might as well just copy this anyway. Copy that, come in here. That is the hexadecimal. Double click on that. That is supposed to be base 16, so we change this one to 16 and alter. Double click on alter and change that to base 8. In the case of the denary, double click on denary. Denary is exactly the same number, so I'm just going to delete that and leave that right there. So if I run it, let's try out 65. Okay, knowing fully well 65 is supposed to be 1 0 0 0 0 0 1. So if I enter 65 there, yeah, that's correct, 1 0 0 0 0 1. Clear. So let's say 65 hexadecimal. That should be correct. 65 octal. That is correct. Alright, so all of these are taken care of. Now let's deal with these guys here. Okay, come in here, come back and double click on that. So what I'll do in here is, let me declare another variable and just call it a as well. A, that's my variable. So let's go for a equals convert to double. Let's say double. Yeah, convert that to double. And what are we converting to double? We're converting this straight into double. Paste that in there. And now let's multiply it by itself. Copy all of this, paste it right in there, and then we don't need to convert it back to string. Let's copy this and paste it right there, and that will be all for that. So now let me copy this again, because I'm going to need it for the next one. Okay, get the form, double click on this and just paste the same thing, but in this case is multiplied. You have to multiply it 3 times. Paste that, copy and paste, and that is that taken care of as well. Alright, now we're making progress. Now let's come back to the next one. Double click on that. Then let's just copy the same thing here. I'm just going to copy this very one, paste it right in there. And instead of this, I'm going to get rid of this, and let's say 0.1 divide there. Okay, close this. Alright, that should take care of that. Now the next one, double click on that. In the case of this, that's meant to be log, so let's come into log here. I'm going to copy everything in here. Copy. Now come back in here, double click on it, paste that. Instead of log 10, I'm going to delete the 10. Yeah, that is that. Done. Okay, and this one, I believe this one is this one really. But okay, double click on it and then come here. Let's copy all of this. No, let's copy this one and bring it down here, paste that and divide. let's divide that by 100. Right, so that will make a difference. So let's come in here and give them all a try. Let's run it and see, and hopefully that will be the end of the scientific part of it. Now come in here, scientific, let's select 32 there. Okay, clear. Now let's see. Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. Yeah. Alright, that is fine. So the scientific part of it is taken care of. All we need to now do is to look after the temperature conversion here, temperature converter. So let's come in here and that, and double click on this one, double click on that. But before I can start my code, let me declare some variables here, up here. Yeah, come up here. Declare as follows. Those are my variables. Now come back in here, double click on that. Okay, the next thing before the calculation begins, we need to assign. Okay, let's give this a name. So we call that. Okay, just come in here and change that to RB cell to Fahrenheit. Okay, the other one, will be RB to cell, and finally we have this one as Kelvin. RB Kelvin. Now double click on Celsius to Fahrenheit, then we assign an operator for it. Okay, equals there. That is the operator for that. Now copy that and repeat the same thing for Fahrenheit to Celsius, and just change that to big F, and that will be for K, and change this to K. Alright, that's that. Those are all the operators. Now I'm going to use a switch statement here. Double click on that and let's switch. So that's going to be switch, and that will be operator, this very operator. Okay, enter the curly braces, yeah, and let's speed that up. Alright, so right there. So those are the lines of codes for the conversion. So let's give that a try and see. Come here, temperature conversion, -40 is always -40. So Celsius to Fahrenheit, there, Fahrenheit to Celsius, the same thing. Let's check out Kelvin. Yeah, that would be different. Alright, we need to be able to clear this and restart. So let's come back in here. Double click on this and just go for txt convert dot, let's say clear, yeah, just clear in there. And what is the name of this? It might be LBL. Okay, come back. LBL convert dot text equals there. Okay, now let's take care of RB dot checked equals false. RB Fahrenheit dot checked, make that false as well. And finally RB Kelvin dot checked the reset button for that. Now the bits that is remaining here is we've taken care of 1, 2, 3. Now let's go for the converter. Okay, with the conversion, I don't know which one to use yet. Alright, let's find out the size of this. The size of that group box is, that is it right there, 417 by, and the coordinate, that's the coordinates. I'm going to need both. The coordinate, I'm going to write that down somewhere. That's 5, 8, 80 by 26. Okay, right. Now the only way out is, let me extend this that much and get another group box there. That's my second group box there. This group box, I will now give it the size of that there. That is the size of that very group box. Okay, I'm going to need this for my multiplication timetable. Let's see, is that right? Yeah, that's right. I just need to move it up a little bit more. Okay, I can always take care of that anyway. Now let's come back in here. Let's get a list box. We need a list box. Scroll right down, right there. Let's paste a list box in there. And since this is our timetable, multiplication timetable, let's just copy that. Copy and paste it right in here. So what's the size of this one? This one is 20. So let's make that 20 as well for it to be consistent. Right, and change this to 20. Come down, make that 20. That is fine. Yeah. Okay, the other thing we're going to need, let's get, we need a button, 2 buttons actually. Come in here. 1 and 2. So, okay, let's give them a name. This very button, I'm going to call that btn multiply. And this, well, we need to change the content on it. Let's change that to multiply. Okay, extend it that much. Now this one is going to be known as reset. We can always take care of the design later on. So btn reset, btn reset. Now, oh, there's one reset on the system. Okay, btn reset mult. Okay, now we need a text box. The text box here, that's a text box there. So that will be txt multiply. Alright, there. So double click on this and let's declare a local variable a, and in the case of a, let's use a for loop. There, let's come in here and just say for, let's say int I equals 1, I let's say less than and equals to, less than and equals to 13, I plus plus. Right, now come in here, and our list box, does that have a name? That has no name, so let's give that a name. LSD multiply. Right, let's copy that, come back into the code, and right here let's say that's dot items dot add. That's the item we're adding, and the item happens to be I. No, not one I. Take that off. I. Alright, now you see this A, I'm going to use that A. Let's say A, let's convert that really. Let's convert dot to, let's say int 32, integer 32, whatever is inside txt mult dot text. Now that is converted. Now to get the timetable working, we now need there, let's use a plus sign. Let's say plus times plus A plus, let's enter, equals plus A times I, and that's all there is to it. So that's our multiplication timetable there. So I'm going to try that out, but first thing, let me just copy this, copy that, and come right in here. So anytime we click on timetable, we want it to focus. Is it focus or set focus? Yes, focus. There. Okay, what about temperature converter? What's the name of this? We need the name. I think it's called Convert, something like that. Yep. Copy, come in here, double click on temperature converter, and this will be dot focus as well. Dot focus. Okay, the other thing we need to do is to move this to this position when we run the program. So what I intend to do is, okay, let's come in, go back in here. Let's see one thing first. Double click on this and make sure, oh, there's an error here. Change this one to I. That's correct. Okay, maybe I should even run it. Let's run it and see first before we continue with the modification. So for multiplication timetable, click on that. You won't be able to see it yet. So let's move this. The focus is in there. Let's say 6 times table. There, that's the 6 times table. Alright, so I'm going to have to rearrange. Let's rearrange it. Come in here. Let's move it a little bit more. And there's one more. Okay, now take this up, and this comes here, and this one will be our reset button. Okay, let's move this down a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. Alright, now one thing we need to do is we need this okay, we're gonna have to, when we click on multiplication timetable, I want this to, the visibility of this to be false, this one true. So let's come back in here. No, let's go into here, double click on that. So we want group box 1 dot visible equals false. Okay, there's another group box there, which is that's group box 2, so make that invisible as well. Then group box 3 dot visible equals true. Now group box 3 dot location we need to equals, I don't know if that's correct. No, I think that is wrong. That should be new point, really. That should be equals new point, right? And the point is 580 by 26. There. Okay, that's fine. Now let's take care of the height and width. So I want the height, undo that. Come on, paste that there. Height width equals, let that be 417, and the height dot height equals 3. Alright, that's fine. So what will happen is, when I run the program and click on this, if I click on this, the multiplication menu, this should change position, comes here. Okay, now the other one is, if I double click on this, let's double click on this, and I'm gonna copy all of this. Okay, and I have this here. Let's take it back in there. Copy this. So in here, temperature converter, I'm gonna paste this and change this. And this 2 becomes true, and this becomes true as well. There. Okay, and the position is the same anyway. Okay, I can just copy it just to be on the safe side and just put it in there. That would be for number 1. Okay, let's run this program now. Okay, you have a look at the menu. That's the menu as well. Let's run it. Okay, come in here, click on File, Multiplication Timetable, right there, guys. Look at that. There. I think we need to maybe reduce this size of this. Now let's go for temperature converter. That is it, guys. Look at that. Just, yeah, that's brilliant. I like that. I think this video is taking too long. I may have to just maybe get rid of this, really. Let's get rid of that. It's taking too long. Okay, I only have 1, 2, 3, and here let's just put exit. Okay, come back in there, double click on exit, and in there maybe we can just say application.exit. Right there. So with that, guys, I'm gonna sort of like call it the end of this program. But before that, let me run it one more time. Okay, that's our scientific calculator. We can always use the standard one to do whatever I want to do. There, clear. Now let's go for scientific. That is correct, clear. Alright, we want to use temperature converter. Let's convert whatever to Kelvin. Right there, that's the answer to that. Okay, what about multiplication timetable? Give me my timetable. Okay, we need to reduce the size of this. That's too large. Come back in here and just reduce this to maybe 16 or whatever. Yeah, 16 will do. Just increase it a little bit more. Yeah, about that. And here, let's centralize this. Let's get it centered. Yeah. Save. Alright, so let's run it one more time, guys. Yeah, multiplication timetable. Enter maybe 4 timetable there. That is 4 timetable. Reset. Oh, the reset is not working. Okay. Let's say 3 timetable. Let's take care of the reset button. Double click on that, and that'll be list multiply dot items dot clear. There. What about the timetable? That'll be txt multiply dot, yeah, we can use dot clear as well. There. So let me show you guys the whole lines of code again. This one, the number pad, we have one event for those right here. Okay, now the operators, including the exponential and the mode, we have one event for those right there. And the equals, double click on the equals. Those are the lines of code for the equals. Take it from the top there, from here, and bring it right down up to here. Okay, now the backspace, the lines of code for the backspace. Clear, line of code for both clear button, there they are. And that is that for the pi logarithm. That's for logarithm there. Square, that's for the square. Cosine, sine h, sine, cosine h, cosine, tangent, tangent, and hexadecimal. Okay, octet right there, and binary, that's base 2. And that is all, guys. So I'm just going to run it one more time. You see how it looks. Okay, that is the standard calculator. Clear, scientific calculator. Clear, and temperature converter. Convert to from Fahrenheit to Celsius. There. Then we also have the multiplication. Enter the value in there and multiply that, and we can reset. There. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you all enjoy it. So with that, I'll say you all have a nice day now. Bye for now.